And here we are again, streaming. YouTube check, Twitch check. Bouncing green lines for audio is all check. Text to speech is working, so I am happy. Oof, so there we go. Oh, I think it's going to be advisable to exit out the game and come back in. What we'll do to make that right is do this. Then we do this. I did wonder if it was going to have a negative impact because it was kind of connected to the wrong display when I first ran it up. Get ready for a loud thunk because it normally fails after closing. I think it's to do with loading the HUD elements, to be honest. There you go, that's the bloop. Now we're going to get another bloop as it goes. Do you want to load safe mode settings? There it is. And now we're going properly. And you've loaded the wrong one again. Let's go here. Keydoc 71. 90%. What we got set here? Yeah, it's probably going to be beneficial just to do that, even though I don't like the artifacts. And that brought my memory usage down by 1%. Yay. So now we got all the flapping about sorted. Let's jump back in. Okay, so let's go back to where we was.
Oh no. They put up a brave fight.
Locus isn't here.
Why would Locus be here?
He was the one who caused the distraction so I could get you back to safety, which is all working out swimmingly.
What? You guys are friends now?
No, we're not. Yeah, I guess we are.
Okay. So I guess that's this map. Okay, yep, that is, which I don't know if I got last time. The secret vault.
This room, what is it for?
So yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to cut this together.
This is amazing.
But previously, I ended the game at this point, having discovered that I didn't have enough of the ancient relics to be able to complete it. So I have endeavored to make amends of that. So let's try and look for optimal ways of doing things. I suppose if we start this end. Yep, that kind of makes sense. Ma'am, you're in my way again. Okay. So. And we do a left with you. And do a left with you. So let's put one here. Righty ho. So this becomes the question. What's the best way to round out this entire thing? See, you... I kind of get more bang for my buck if I put you in the middle. But yeah, as I was saying, I kind of, like, got annoyed because these things that I'm using, the ancient relic, appear to be mandatory for what you need to do, which I was not happy with for obvious reasons. Oof. Not liking any of my options up there. Okay, we'll come back to that. So, what I did is I did a single recording session that is kind of out of sequence with everything else. And should have been aired before you got to see this, even though it came about halfway through this segment. For the simple reason that I got a little bit annoyed with the game. That something that I thought was optional ended up being pretty much mandatory to be able to solve this. But I've collected them all, even though I think the number is wrong for some reason. But there's got to be only one way you can solve this with all the pieces that you have. Because this probably seems like an end game problem. Okay, that's a start on that one. What's the best way to tackle this, huh? Well, you make a kind of sense. Is there any other ones that are completely obvious? I suppose if we do that and offset one like that, that gets a whole load. How many have I used so far? 30, so okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, okay. So I let myself put 8 of each in before I then start doing the final tweaking. To me, this is screaming, do this. Also scream, no. It's also screaming, do this. Ma'am, you mind? How many is that? 6. Okay. And we'll put 1 there. That should be 8. Well, no brainer about... No. Better. That's a no-brainer. What is it? If we just turn you that way, and then turn you that way, and turn you that way, that should work. Turn you there, and we drop you in there, and that's 4. And we have 22 left. Again, that seems like the maximum for our buck. I suppose we could do that, and then that. Okay. Lady. That's 8. So I have 17 left. 17 means I can only really use 4 on each one extra. And we have that hole there. I so wish I could punch her out of the way. None of these look like easy solutions. See, I can do this one with like 3. Because if we put one there, and then put one there, that's 11. 14 left. I don't like that way it's done. I suppose. No, because that needs to be there. That needs to be there. Get out of the way. That's the pickle about this. I could easily just use 5 trying to fill that bit in, which is frustrating. Right. fill some of that in. I'll come back to that. That's kind of an easy get. Suppose. Then we could put one. Do it like that for now. And one. I'm not liking what this is doing for my numbers. 7 and 2 puzzles left. Which means I've gone wrong somewhere. Indeed it has. See, I need 4 just for this one. Because I could put a 9 there, a 9 there, a 9 there. And that'll give me 3 left to do that one with. Okay, let's... Is there a better way? 1... That is the problem. 1. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Get out of... Thank you. One, 2, 3, 4. Any way to improve the odds? What happens if we take that one out? Okay, so that's what happens if we take that one out. I'm getting ready to punch you again. Nope, that doesn't really help matters. See, putting... That gets me... That gets me that. Which makes me think... More beneficial to do that. Okay, let's get some things just in here for now. Maybe if I just put them all in, I might see some way to optimize it. So 2 left. And so many to do. Yep, 2 left. Maybe this is a better option. No, that isn't. Go down there. But you only achieve that. That's not great bang for my buck. How many have I got? 4. Oh, that's why, because you're a left. Okay, let's try putting you in like that. Does that get me much? Not particularly. I have 4. So let's go back to this one. Yep, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. That's an elegant solution. That's pretty elegant as well, because I'm using those to block up a ton of holes. I'm not too happy with these two being so close together. Move. Is there a better way to do this? That is the question. How is that top line getting completed? Getting completed by those. So if we take you out, get you and put you there, and now just have that problem. Which isn't great, because it means the one that I just used isn't really free. But I do think the left turns are just to fill in holes. Right, let's have a look at this one. So let's try putting you there. Gets us on that direction. Let's say those are... Nope, there's no clues. Is just a logic puzzle. How many have we got? 6, and still not great. That one's doing a lot. That one's doing a lot. What are you doing? Just that one. Okay. So if I did... That's the problem, is that one. Okay, let's try that. And you will need to be that. And how many? 6 still. And we still got to use 3. So you go there. That's the problem, there's a gap. What happens if I turn you off? That could work. So if instead we do that, which just leaves us with this problem. 5 left, which gives us 3 to solve that. That is the best option. Let's see. You cover that and that axis. You cover those axes. What would happen if I switched the axes around? Not that much, actually. Because you could go there, which would mean you would go there. Woman. So you actually end up there. So now how many? 3. 3 to solve this problem, and I can use 3 just on that section, let alone all of that. That makes the most sense for that solution. That goes up. Really not seeing better solution for this one. This one only uses one left. And you're the pain in the rear one. You're doing a lot of work. Let's try. And then... Okay, let's have another look at this section. I get the most bang for my buck there. I get my second bang for the buck here. And what one are you doing? Okay, so we can actually just rotate that one that way. 4. Okay, we have 4. Would you mind not breathing like that? It's very distracting. That does make sense along there. Because not only are we getting that up bit, we're also getting that across bits. Problem with using that left turn here is I'd need that hole, which I don't have access to. Okay, let's have another look. Is there a better way? That is the question. No, that looks pretty... Just want to double check something. Yep. Okay, riddles 10. Riddles 15. Riddles 24 of 24. So I've got all the bits I need and that I can have. So it was all about the math. See, I do like the elegant solution of that. I mean, the only different thing I can do is that. Same there. It's these ones I'm not happy with. What if? Let's change things up a bit. Excuse me. I'm trying to solve a puzzle here. You go across there, you go up that way. I suppose we put it in. I'm not liking that solution. There's just so many bits you have to use on this one. Okay, let's do that and remove that one. So what does that change here? We have 4. Okay, so we've still got a hole here we need to patch. Happy with those. No. So I can remove that, put you there. But I don't think I want to do it like that. Well, isn't this a pickle? Still only 4. That's all that you're doing there. I so want to punch this woman for getting in the way too much. Okay. You're basically completing that. You're only really benefiting those two. Now that is interesting. If you're only benefiting those two, maybe if we move that over one. 5 only. That gets that bottom row, that gets that row. You're still worth it. You're still worth it. You are doing all of that work, which I think is worth it. I was thinking about moving that one to that center and doing a left turn, but I don't think it benefits anything. Okay, 5. See, to me, that is worth it. Just going to pop this in your head. Three. Going up. See, I'm not liking those at all. But if I commit to that, I suppose if I did that, did that, now also have problems. This entire thing. And I'm still short. Ba, 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 ba. there. So I have 2 left. Well, I'll give them points for trying to make you think. At the end of the game. But that is doing a good job there. Ma'am? So does it make my job any easier putting you there? Not particularly. To complete this entire thing, and I could use 2 just to clear that up. That is right. So that now covers those. That one's being covered, that one. That makes sense. That drops down. See, what you don't want is a lot of blocks pulling double duty. And by doing that, I've just gained myself one of them. Hurrah! You don't really have a reason to be left because you achieved the same. Just trying to see if there's a way to rearrange these. So you're covering those 2. The reason is because of that one. You are covering all of those, which makes sense. Now that I do not like, because you're only doing the work of 3. What's the solution here? Right. Want to see what damage that does. That does that. Okay, so do need something on this line. You there, maybe? You do a lot with that one. Does kind of make sense to have it all going all the way over there. But we instead did that. Brings it down there. That'll lock off those. And now I'm 2 up. So you go across there, you go across there. Maybe I'm wrong with this assumption, and it'd be better to put you there. so convinced about you anymore. Maybe... Nope, that's doing double duty. It's a waste. Oof. How many have got? 4. I could easily put one there. That'd cover off that. How long do I give it till I go, oh, bugger it, I'm going to look it up. That does kind of make sense for that corner. Or does it? Because if I did that, it would free up that to do a bit more work. And if that is freed up to do a bit more work, I could just drop you in there, but no. Which way is the best way? That does that. That does that. Still got 3 left. And way more holes to plug. Why have I got you there? Because if I just put you like that, does that really help me? Go across and up. Which gets me right back to that problem. No other better ways to do this. That's doing that and that. That's going all the way across. I think that one's right. I think my problem is these two. That's the only logical place for that one to go. So we hit this problem again. You are doing that many. We have a fairly nice wide intersection there. But then you divide the board into two. It's the only logical way to solve the problem is to do that. But that doesn't really get you any benefit. If we put you there, we get a bit more action going. Okay, so we've got a 3 in the middle we can't get to. But does that actually help me at all? So that would enable me to remove that. Okay. How many? 4. 1, 2. Oof. Trying to think of good ways to do this, and my brain doesn't work. It's all I'm good for. Absolute bugger all. I am liking this section. Got 4 left and way too many holes again. That's before we deal with that issue. Let's see. Is there a more efficient way? See, I could use 3, 1, 2, but I get stuck there. I just want to see what this does. Maybe. And you're the problem. Because if I convince myself that doing that is right, that covers all that. Let's take you out a moment. I'm obviously seeing that line across there. But you end up doubling up on that, which I don't like. What happens if we take you out and we move you over 1? You still have 5. My brain is just playing with patterns at the moment. So it's thinking, if I did that, and if I did that, I then need three, that, which isn't great. Makes me question this one going all the way along. Yep, to be able to get that one, it's the only way. Well, no, it isn't. But all it does is kick the same problem a few bits down. 2, and I still need the 2 to do this entire thing. So maybe I'm wrong on that assumption. So if I'm wrong on that assumption, and we do that instead, and what are you keeping together? Okay. To me, it is so screaming out. I find this UI infuriating. Because the solve this, all you need to do that. Wait a minute. I thought it made a sound indicator to let you know that you'd put it in the right place, but it doesn't actually do that. And now we have none left. Which definitely makes me think I did something wrong. Okay. That's covering that. Maybe that solution is a bit too lazy with using the left turns. Got any more lefts? Nope. Being covered by that. See, this one is just screaming for a left. So if I did that, put that there. Does that really help, though? Not particularly. But if I did that and took you out, how many of these have I got? 4. Not enough to finish it. So let's try those there. Well, that's an interesting happy stance. See, the only way of covering these properly like that, and kind of leaves us with that problem. Maybe that's the clue. Trying not to have them overlap too much. I think that instantly makes me think bop. Now playing with added bop. Come on, lady. Are you actually keeping anything? You are. If we put one here, and then we put one here, and I can only now complete it with the two that I have, because you go there. Anyway, I could manipulate this to give me the solution I want. That makes sense. You're getting 5 versus 4 if I put you like that. See, my gut is like kind of saying, move it like that. And if I do that, it still takes 2, baby. Okay, screw it. Where are we? Da-da-dum. What's this called? A secret chamber puzzle? Okay. Yep. Wait, what? I am missing An ancient relic. You're kidding me? Oh, wow, that is not at all helpful, but we will try. Okay. So D1, turn right, which I've done. I1, turn right, yep. G2, turn right, yep. A3, turn left, yep. C5. Oh, they are recommending doing that. Okay. M. M5. So they want this one out and put here. F6. 6, turn right. Okay. K7 left. That looks like I've got that right. C9, yep. E9, yep. H9. Wow, my solution was actually better. Because $11. Because I solved it with 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. No, I solved it with 11. 4, 4, 12. 4, 4, 4. Yeah, 12. So where have I gone wrong? Okay. Because if I can do this in 11, I get the one that I need. No, I don't, because the math... The thing that they're saying is not for your first time through. Okay. Let's just leave them all in the wall.
I need some help.
Madre mía. Is that what I think it is?
It's Noah's Ark.
It's real?
This wasn't stranded, it was placed deliberately and a long time ago.
What does Noah's Ark have to do with the stones?
I don't know yet. But we need to find them before Voss figures it out.
What if he already knows?
That tent. Looks like that's the only way into the Ark. Now... Wait!
What?
If we're both caught, Voss gets the stones. I'll go down, find a safe way through. You stay here.
No, I want to come with
you.
you.
Stay here with the stones till I come back. Okay.
What if you don't come back?
You'll have one hell of a story to tell.
Wie viele Männer sind außer Gefecht?
Die Hälfte mindestens. Ein Riese hat 3 Soldaten auf einmal niedergestreckt.
Ich dachte, wir wären hier sicher, nachdem uns diese verdammten Wilden aus dem Dschungel gejagt haben.
Wir sollten lieber leise sein. Vielleicht sind ein paar dieser Irren immer noch da draußen.
Ja, stimmt. Machen wir weiter.
Down you go!
Ooh. Okay. Color me intrigued.
Was ist denn nun schon wieder?
Stay down!
Okay.
So öde. Zum Glück habe ich den Brief zur Aufheiterung.
Right, so.
Hey! Get over here!
Mist, hat einen!
That little guy packed a punch.
Hammer. So we got 3 doc. Oh, look, there's an extra one.
Das macht nachdenklich.
Okay, so we've got a problem.
Get down!
Mann am Boden!
Ich dreh kurz eine Runde.
Mann verloren!
I got a better plan.
Mann verloren!
Heidenspaß.
Ich mach dich alle! Auf ihn! Du hast hier nichts verloren! Jetzt sehe ich dich! Oh nein! Ich muss nachladen! Feuert, verdammt! Endlich bist du tot! Nun ist er... Hey, du bist mir unterlegen! Munition! Hey, halt!
Would you?
Die Lade nach! Ihm das Licht auf! Und, Freundchen! Das zählt nicht als Nachladen!
Ow. Lucky hat.
Sit down, pal.
Was machst du da?
That's close enough.
Ich krieg dich!
Where are you going?
Auf ihn! Los! Dir meine Oma im Schlaf besser! Oh,
Hell of a drop.
ich seh dich da. Nachladen! Lade nach! Brauch Munition! Ich feuer ihn! Macht ihn kalt!
Ah.
Wer bist du? Halt sofort an!
Come on. Did I do it? I think I did. Okay. The area is safe. You shotgun? Nope. Pistol. Stick. Ah. Well, that should have attracted a lot of people.
Lucas. I'm gonna get you out of this, pal.
I must admit, Dr. Jones, I was not expecting the Giants to attack. It gave me quite a headache.
What did you do to him?
Horse tranquilizer did the trick. Are you not impressed? You found the Ark of the Covenant, yes, but I found Noah's Ark.
What makes you think it's the real one?
Oh, come on, Indiana. Please. Isn't it time we dispense with the pettiness already? Why don't you and I have a meeting of the minds instead? Something more befitting of this glorious historic moment we find ourselves in. What I'd like to do is put the guns down.
Go ahead. I'll knock your teeth out.
Fair warning. I have mastered the lethal Japanese hand-to-hand combat art of karate. Or I can just have my guard shoot you. Tell me, Dr. Jones, what do you know about the myth of the Great Flood?
Which one? There's thousands to choose from. You have the classic from the Hebrew Bible, the Sumerian creation myth, the Great Flood of the Chinese Ganyu, the Blood Deluge of Ymir, and then, of course, there's the numerous Greek myths. Well, the names of the survivors change. Noah, Pyrrha and Deucalion.
They all point to the same real event. I will tell you everything I know. And after, we'll have ample time to knock each other's teeth out.
Floods have happened since the dawn of time. They're just stories.
Well, every good story is true in one way or another. And I know one you haven't heard of. Please come. Come. From an excavation in North Africa. It details the story of the Flood myth and its connection to the Great Circle. The Metatron, the voice of God, was sent down to instruct a mortal man, let's call him Noah, to build a giant vessel. The Ark. The angel gave Noah 17 stones, all imbued with the power to fold the earth. Yes! 17 stones, 17 words. Each stone connected to one of the locations of the Great Circle. Noah used the stones to gather animals from around the world, and then, after the flood was over, to repopulate the earth. And the stones were left hidden at each of the Great Circle sites under the protection of this ghastly race of giants.
The Nephilim.
Yes. Some legends blamed the flood on them, so they needed redemption. But over time, the stones were lost, stolen, forgotten. So the giants formed an alliance with the Vatican to seek out and find the stones again. To keep them for men like us.
Men like you.
Tell me, Dr. Jones, where's Miss Lombardi?
Oh, she's gone. Long gone.
That is a shame. Because I have something she would want to hear.
This is Laura Lombardi, aboard the SS Comet. Boss, if you hear this, your experiment failed spectacularly. The ship is stranded on a mountain. The captain wants me to perform the experiment again, to get us back to safety. But I refuse. I'd rather die with the stone than let you have it. I hope you burn it.
What a preposterous woman. And now she's dead. For what?
You will never understand.
Perdóname, Gina. Ti ho mentito.
Va all'inferno, was?
Je kunt jetzt reinkommen. Drawn to the memory of your dead sister like a rat to a stinking piece of cheese.
Er hat die Steine nicht.
Natürlich nicht. Das Mädchen hat sie. Your weakness for the fairer sex has caused you to make many questionable decisions. Da seid ihr hier endlich wie entzückend.
Boss, listen to me. You're messing with powers beyond your control.
You should know by now, Indiana Jones. I am always in control.
Gina.
Pardon me for interrupting you two little turtle-täubchen, but pay attention, Dr. Jones. You are about to witness history being made. Now, as your dear sister found out the hard way, using just a single stone is extremely unpredictable, completely useless for warfare. Now, we need all the stones.
But you don't have the last one.
Inserting the stones into the wheel of the Ark and speaking the words in the correct order will grant me the power to travel to any location I want in an instant. The gift from God given unto Noah, and now given unto me. Imagine this gift in the hands of the mighty German Wehrmacht. A panzer division appearing out of nowhere in the middle of Times Square, Washington, D.C., or in front of your university. Your friends, your family, your entire nation would be groveling before our feet within a single day. When you write about this, Miss Lombardi, remember Emmerich Voss with 2 M's and 2 S's, like SS. Det ish Ahmed. Ojelaim. Zohavnichim. Harolvim. Gilatzverim. Shirani Tum. Motem Idjan.
Habek Maga Imbalim Shavam Free
Gan Shural.
Shevespashin Shevestama Habek Maga Imbalim
Avikruan. Imad Beirut.
Shavam Free Levet Nia
Madayara. Dream Hikme.
Voss! You have to stop!
Quiet!
You don't know what you're doing!
Of course I do.
Noah was chosen by God!
Habek Maga Imbalim
Sheletrem. Radem Kaal. Dovid Naim.
Imbalim Shavam Free Levet Nia
Don't say the last...
Oh, yes! Right! Why are you laughing?
What did you think would happen?
in it.
Do Lucas first.
You did this, Jones. You sabotaged my experiment.
No, boss. This is your own doing, not mine.
Lies! Everything was perfect. I'm going to kill you all!
Okay. Okay.
Not going anywhere! You will pay for this!
Okay.
I play you like a cat playing with the little mouse. This is your fault, Jones.
No one to blame but yourself.
Okay.
You go.
I wasn't going anywhere.
The giant is dead. No one can protect you now. I know what it is. You couldn't let me outshine you.
You're delusional.
The gift of God was in my grasp. Look at you still fighting, Jones. Pathetic. Who is delusional here, huh? You chase me around the world. You're obsessed, Jones.
You're a nut.
It's time. You admit. Indiana, I won.
Gina.
Gina!
I want you, Indiana. I know karate. Just you and me, Jones. Here, at the end of the world.
I can take you on.
Can't save Miss Lombardi now, Dr. Jones. Bergman will take care of her.
Oh, yeah?
Bergman!
Jones! Hang on!
Hoopla! A perfect strike.
All right. I felt that one.
I did not expect that.
Are you even trying?
Damn it!
I'm just trying to use block.
Had enough?
Jones! I got you.
Get away from there! Move! You must have caused this! Last chance! Move away! I will not let a degenerated monster like you tell me what to do! This is my... You were born! This is Indiana Jones!
Focus!
Off boat! Now! Jump!
You don't know how to swim!
I know! Go!
Focus.
Do you think he survived?
I honestly have no idea.
I think he proved he was worthy. I guess this is goodbye.
Yeah. This is yours.
Laura's journal. Thank you.
Say, you want to stick around for a little while? I got some friends. They could show us the sights.
There's a war coming. And I have a hell of a story to tell. And I think you will be too busy chasing the past.
I don't know. I think I could make room for other things.
Lovey. Not now. Too much is at stake. Adios, Rambo. Jones! Find me when all of this is over. Maybe we can have that fancy dinner!
I'd like that.
Okay, so that was Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Kind of mixed about this game, to be honest. Let's start with the positives. I think the portrayal of Indiana Jones is very well executed in this game. He always came across as me as sort of the accidental hero, the wrong person in the right place, as to say. And a lot of the character is expressed in this game. I'm a big fan of the first three films. I'm not a fan of the fourth one. But the way the character is dealt with in this game is more in line with the first three films. I think with the films, I haven't watched the fifth one either, just out of sheer principle of the fourth one set a low bar and I just didn't want to experience it. I want to keep, like, Indiana Jones in this sort of era of memory, as to say. The story, I kind of like where it went and how you ended up doing a bit of globe trotting. So it does kind of feel a bit like an Indiana Jones adventure in that way. I think they need more of the writers from this sort of game if they ever end up doing another film, but I doubt it, because I don't see it being Harrison Ford being interested in it whatsoever, just because of the nature of how Harrison Ford is with his, what I'd call, legacy characters. I think the voice work for Indiana Jones was absolutely on point. A lot of it, can't really tell that it's a different voice actor to Harrison Ford in the 80s, which is really, really impressive. And speaking about, like, voice work, it's really nice seeing Tony Todd. There he is, Lucas. Tragically, he's passed away recently. It's one actor that I did enjoy when he was in films and when he was in TV. So he will be missed. Some of the puzzles were good. Well, actually, let's take a step back. talk more about... There you go. In Love and Memory, Tony Todd. There you go. Didn't know that there was someone else involved with this that passed away. Quilomar de los Reyes. Well, I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it. If I've said it wrong, please, I beg for forgiveness. But yeah, I think the voice cast did a good job. I was impressed with the cinematography of the cutscenes. They was definitely in sync with the idea and concept of what Indiana Jones is. And I find it interesting that even though LucasArts seems to be like really fumbling with films and TV series, they are kind of getting it right in the game world. Because, like, obviously I recently played Monkey Island game that got released recently. I've played for Jedi Survivor. I haven't played the sequel to it, but again, if you ignore the engine issues, which we'll get onto, there of those games, then, you know, the story is kind of sound, it's fitting, and I feel like that's been executed much better than what they have in Star Wars film and TV of late. And this is what I'm faced with The Great Circle. Is I do think this is written really well. It's definitely an Indiana Jones adventure. And that's kind of where... Oh, music. I had streamer mode engaged, so I wouldn't get much copyright issues with the audio. But the audio that they substituted in, I think, kind of worked. I'm probably going to have a second playthrough of this off the channel, so I can actually experience it with the copyright music. I think that would be quite a nice experience. Like, I think these credits would be completely different with what I think should be playing right now. And then I need to talk about the bad. Yes, I did like some of the puzzles, but they didn't feel like that they were core to the game. And the one puzzle that is really interesting, it appears it's completely optional. And based on that map that we got, it's actually only for a field note behind the wall, which is a little bit frustrating. I don't see it unlocking a new ending to the game or anything like that. Like, when I got to that last bit, I literally thought I had to solve that puzzle to open the door. And so I kind of ended up thinking that the ancient relics, there's two of them that you, yeah, collectibles, nightmare. So I thought you had to collect them all to open that door, and I was wrong. And I'm quite happy to say, you know, I completely misjudged that. But it's not kind of explained that well in the game that it's completely optional. But a lot of the puzzles were very superficial, very simplistic. The game, a couple of key decisions was made in regards to it. Obviously, they decided with the game engine to make it the first game that actually had a ray tracing requirement on hardware. I am not here to say if that is a right call, and I'm not here to say if that is a wrong call, but with making that decision, it meant the game to be well received would have no problems, be very, very solid on a technical level if they're going to pitch that. And I don't think we are quite ready for game titles that have a requirement of ray tracing hardware in their games. We've got an entire problem in that industry of graphics cards. I'm a bit of a techie, so I keep my fingers in what's going on with graphics cards and things like that. And we're kind of seeing a same problem occur that I saw happen with virtual reality, which is the main people that made virtual reality, aka Oculus, Steam's compatibility, the MetaQuest, and then the various other headsets that you can get, is they all ended up developing their own way of delivering a three-dimensional world inside VR. So if you want to get a metagame on Steam, you basically have to go through for a port of the game to get it onto Steam. And in that, it creates entire other load of problems. At the moment, you've got this entire three-way fight now because of Intel joining the fray, whereby they're kind of having their own interpretations in how to deal with ray tracing. The best way that AMD and Intel are kind of looking at the problem is working within the compatibility of DirectX to be able to deliver it. But again, you're still not having this kind of standard across the board in regards to what should be happening. Like, it is starting to definitely feel like when like the GTX 4030 series came out, Nvidia made this big thing about PhysX, is an extension on the Nvidia cards that they can do, and you had to have an Nvidia graphics card to be able to enable PhysX. You can look at the Arkham games for this example, whereby the PhysX engine can only be enabled on an Nvidia card. And we're kind of getting the same kind of problem now with Nvidia, which is path tracing. The way the game is completely delivered right now is it's a ray tracing hardware requirement, and the game then has path tracing as an option, but you can only enable it, if you have 12 gigabyte of VRAM on your graphics card, and B, it's an Nvidia card. And if you look at the way path tracing was introduced into Cyberpunk, which again, Nvidia had a hand in helping with that development, you're seeing that if you do normal ray tracing operations on the leading AMD RX 69 XTX, for example, it can trade blows with a 4090 in some situations. It's not perfect, but it can be up there. If you go to Tech Report website, I know I've got that wrong, and you actually look at the hierarchy of graphics cards, you will see RTX 4090, and then right behind it is actually the AMD RX 7900 XTX. And the thing is, as soon as you turn on path tracing on an AMD card, the performance goes completely through the floor. It's why it's probably not enabled as an option on an AMD card within it. And then you got Intel coming into the fray, and it's just making it messy. There needs to be like a consensus in regards to how to deliver ray tracing as a platform, because we're just heading toward the same thing, whereby path tracing will be an NVIDIA thing, just like physics was back in the day. The other big criticism that I have about this game is its structure, and it's actually for two reasons. The first reason is they decided to go with, there you go, NVIDIA Corporation being involved in this, and that was probably for the path tracing. I like the fact that we go to a couple of different locations, but it definitely feels like they was trying to incorporate some kind of mini open world. You had your intro, and then you get to the Vatican, and it's a small hub area, and you have lots of mini quests within it. You have a currency, you have skills, you have XP that you can get. And it makes it feel a bit like the game is turning into more a checklist thing, rather than focusing on the story. So pretty much I think at every single hub area, the Vatican, Cairo and Sukhothai, they each have an item that you've got to collect currency for to be able to buy before you can proceed with the storyline. So they are forcing you to just grind up cash by doing extra side stuff to be able to pursue and complete the storyline. Obviously, I did pick medium difficulty, medium puzzles, but because they went for this entire making a mini hub with lots of little quests, it means in each little quest they wanted to put a little bit of a puzzle or something. So the actual puzzles in the actual story kind of don't feel as relevant or important because you're dealing with so many puzzles. I do feel that the puzzles in the main storyline needed to be bigger and more involved. I liked the part where we had to go underneath... No, it wasn't Nicholas the Fifth. It was under the fountain. Went under the fountain, and you then had to do those 2 trials to melt the ore to make the 2 keys to open the door. That I liked. That kind of felt very organic, and also with solving the puzzle with the fountain. But then other times it just, the novelty wears off the more of the extra content that you do. And I've watched a lot of stuff about Bethesda, and I think that's another little problem that comes into this game. The way Bethesda is these days is Todd Howard has a finger in pretty much every single game that's being developed. Well, we're just getting to Bethesda. Is there going to be any mention of Todd Howard? But I wouldn't be surprised if some of the stuff that we see inside the game is a direct influence of Bethesda wanting that mini hub with multiple quests, with a currency, with collectibles that you can end up looking at as their requirement unless you don't understand what the game is actually asking you, when it is actually an optional amount of content. And because I thought that that was required to open the last door to go through, it really tilted the way that I looked at the game, because all of a sudden a collectible has become mandatory. And I'm sure I said that, and just to try and do that bit, I ended up having to commit a lot of time in another recording that I did not stream, whereby I was just going around and collecting all the artifacts and ticking all the boxes with the hope that I'd have enough. And then I spent an hour and a half playing with the the 4 puzzles on that one wall, and I decide to look at a guide, and it says, oh yeah, one of the things you need, you can't get until you complete the game, and you can go back to that area to get that item. And it's like, frustrating, because the way the game presents it, it makes you think you got to do that to open the door. It's a very, very simple thing, and I do feel that entire other things to do, currencies, skills, and things like that, just takes away from the experience a bit. It becomes grindy, and you feel like to get the most out of the game, you've got to do that stuff, but it's a false positive in a way. I'm not explaining that too well, but I have been talking for a fair old while, so do forgive me. But the other thing that I found fascinating with this game is watching the polish disappear. Like, if you think of how the game started, it reenacts the beginning of Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it creates a great impression, and then you have a moment after it and it gets you in, then you're dumped in the Vatican, and it feels very intentional, very polished, and then you do everything that you need to get to Cairo, at which point I started running into problems with quest markers not quite being right. Heck, I still think I've got a couple of quest markers that are completely bugged out in Cairo. And then you finish Cairo and you go to Sukhothai, and it dips again. When your boat goes across water, the water lilies poke through the bottom of the boat. They should be pushed under the boat. The water shouldn't be coming up into the boat rides on the water. It's a basic thing. And then you notice all the pop-ins with the trees and the vibrating of things, which I think is an entire LOD problem, where it thinks it's at a certain distance and then it changes its mind, so it's changing the quality of the tree in the distance. And then the AI for your companion Gina can break. When I was playing this, I had a second save going alongside, so I could try and optimize my graphics, and I've completely had to rework my entire streaming and recording just for this game to be able to have a reasonable experience. Again, that goes into sort of the way the game has been made. And it feels like the mid-game, there's like, okay, people will probably get this far, we can have it that tidy. People may not get that far, because let's be honest, not everyone completes games. I have a friend who I've sort of taught. He loves playing the first 30 minutes of every single game he buys, and that's probably all he'll ever end up playing. He gets the first impression and that's it, he's done with it. But when I was running this other campaign, I was in one of the tombs and I went a little bit off the beaten path, and the AI for the companion broke. And the problem is the NPC would no longer move. And so I tried pushing the NPC into the right direction. I ended up trying for about 15 to 25 minutes to solve it. Kept reloading the save, see if that would solve it, but the save was just at the point that I'd interacted with something and the ad was already broken. So I looked on the internet, and lots of people having problems with the AI of Gina specifically, getting stuck in locations, halting game progress. And it's just really, really simple stuff to sort out, the pathing. When I was trying to solve the puzzle that you're not meant to solve until after you've completed the game, I have in total, I think it's about 2 hours of me recorded playing with that puzzle. And the number of times that the NPC gets in front of me so I cannot see the puzzle, that I wanted to punch the NPC. And you can't. The only thing you can do is move your character to the side and then move left, and that'll force the NPC to move out the way, and you can step back and look at the puzzle. But then 30 seconds to 60 seconds later, she's back directly in front of you, obscuring the puzzle. And that is not great coding for an NPC that's meant to be helpful. With the instance I was talking about earlier, I ended up having to use the backup checkpoint system and replay about 30 to 45 minutes of the game to get to that point and go, right, I cannot go and get that optional thing, because if I go that way, it's going to break the AI. I was lucky that I didn't do it on my initial playthrough. And it's just the part of that game that was right after that was a co-op section, because she has to operate a light whilst you climb across the ledge, and she stops the scorpions from getting at you, and you can't interact with that because the scorpions will kill you, because she will not engage and move off the spot that she's put herself in. The AI for the enemies, I think, is a bit dumb. I mean, I found it very immersion breaking, whereby I started using the whip technique to KO an enemy. And every time Indy does that, you get a loud whip sound and Indy shouts some sort of quip. Whilst there's another guy 1.5 meters away from the guy that you just KO'd. It just doesn't make sense. Me doing that should have alerted the other guy, and you end up being able to abuse the broken AI to get through bits in an unintended way. I do give it credit for the fact that it's nice, the fact that you don't have to shoot everyone. It's not one of them games. You can go in, you can fist fight, you can use stealth, you can knock out people before that they're a problem that you have to deal with. I like that aspect of it really well, but again, the AI is quite dumb in the way that it responds to you. And the last boss, I knew that there was going to be a boss at the end. It's just the way it works. And it's the nature of the beast of video games. There's a boss at the end, as to say. And you can break it with block and parry. Didn't have the whip because he had it. But I didn't have to restart. They blow your hat off so you can't use the lucky hat technique, which would break the fight. They created something that they have to take away from you, otherwise you would break the games, which is quite funny, because the number of fights that you actually have to go into where you haven't got your hat just so that you can actually have a game over screen rather than you picking up the hat, getting up and going straight back in. And I beat them. In fact, I feel like that end boss isn't as hard as some of the fights I fought in the rings. In the fighting rings in each location, you kind of learn the block parry thing, and there's just a load of little things the game doesn't like take to the time to explain to you. Like, apparently there's a way that you can actually grab the person with two hands and then with one hand hold them and then punch them a lot with the other hand, but I have absolutely no idea how to trigger that. I really don't. I know it's got to be with the whip, surely, but if you do a quick whip, it'll disarm them. And if you do a quick whip and they're not disarmed, it'll just hit them. If you do a long press, then you grab the neck and you pull them to you. But once you're at a certain point, that entire whip knocks out people, which is... so you don't really get to engage with that mechanic, even though they don't tell you how it works. They don't do a great way of tutorializing the parry system within the game. It's something that you've actually got to work out yourself. This game has had the opportunity to be absolutely great. The concern that I have is the decisions that were made when they was putting together this game. They decided on this game engine and they decided, right, we are going to go hardware ray tracing full way. Now, what I find interesting is there's someone that has been watching my videos, and one of the things that they keep commenting about is the fact that every time they see the game played, the moment-to-moment stuff, they say it screams that it was initially a virtual reality game, which I can see that argument because it's first-person indie, the shooting, the way that you interact with the environment would work perfectly within that situation. Here's the problem with that. The game engine that they chose and the decision to make it fully hardware ray traced. If they'd marketed this game the way it is as a VR game, the hardware requirements would be absolutely bonkers. My PC kind of struggles to play this at 1080p, 60 frames per second. And the thing about virtual reality is, and it's something that a lot of people don't think about, is the game's got to generate 3 different points of view. I know what you're saying and what you're thinking. Hold up, no, surely it's only 2. One for the left eye, one for the right eye. True, but when the game runs in Windows, it creates a third screen that people can watch. When I've done virtual reality games on my channel, streaming or recording, the way that it's worked is you're watching the desktop version of the game. You're not actually seeing what I'm seeing in virtual reality. So if this game had an idea of going for VR, one, it would completely reduce the player base that this would be open to. And then you got the problem of the hardware requirements, because like I say, it's got to be able to generate 3 frames. 3 different viewports of the same situation simultaneously, which does increase the workload on the hardware that you've got by 2 to 3. Obviously, And in VR, one of the most important things is like 90 FPS or more for a comfortable ride. And I just couldn't see that happening with this game. It does feel like it's something that they toyed with, but no. I really don't think this could be a VR game. It is. I so want to like this game and to recommend it. If you engage in just the story, then it is an Indiana Jones adventure. The problem is the padding, pure and simple, and it feels like the further that you get into the game, the more and more the game feels rushed, and it falls apart as you play it. You just got to think back to Sakai. I know I've probably pronounced that name of that place 2 or 3 different places, but the third hub area, when you go to the hidden temple and it's that bit with the snake, and you get in there and then you got to climb up the inside of the pyramid or temple or whatever you want to call it, and the FPS just tanked, even though the settings that I had on other areas was maintaining 60. This area just wasn't gelling at all. It gave the impression that it hadn't been optimized, and this all comes into other problems, which is like optimization. Developers are using frame gen and upscaling as a quick term solution for optimization, and I really don't think that's the answer, because anytime that you engage upscaling, anytime you engage frame generation, you are sacrificing something in the game. With upscaling, you get ghosting, artifacting, but you can get a better frame rate. Whilst on the other side, frame gen adds latency. It's the sign of where we're actually going with games, which is a complete shame. And there we are. This completes the main story arc of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Doesn't mean the journey is over. All the locations can be revisited to complete any unfinished fieldwork. Collect every one last of the notes and items to be found, or just take in the sights. So, yeah. All in all, I would love to recommend this, but if I look at my real life friends, not people who I know online, they don't have a PC that can run this. Heck, I think I don't quite have a PC to run this, and that's quite frightening. I mean, what have I got? i9 10900K. Yeah, it's a bit long in the tooth, but it's a 10-core, 20-thread CPU. Cache isn't huge, but it's sufficient. And the RTX 3080 10 gig. And let's have a look at my current game options. So I'm running it at 1080. Frame rate limit to 60. Texture pool medium. I've got everything else maxed out. And I'm running DLSS. But the problem with DLSS is that I get quality issues. is there something... There's an annoying ghosting that can happen with lighting. And that's one of the things that also frustrates me, is I don't really see a ray reconstruction option. And I think that's part of the problem. That's where the ghosting is coming. And added insult, what about AMD users? They are going to be stuck with native TAA, which is not a great option. Again, this kind of goes into the entire side rant that I have about the state of gaming at the moment. But just having two options like that is wrong. We should have an option to actually run at native res and have options of different types of anti-aliasing. The current hardware, the way it's going, I really don't see it being something I'm going to be interested in. And as more and more games like this come out, I'm going to be less and less inclined to play them. I think over the next year, I may end up stopping sort of playing completely AAA titles, just because they are chasing this entire hyperrealism setup, and the GPU manufacturers are developing technologies that don't let you use the horsepower of the actual graphics card to do things, which is how it used to be. And I don't know how things are going to progress from here. Oh, I hate that thing. And if we look here, it is just a field note right behind it. So it doesn't even do anything. This is just a side puzzle that I misinterpreted. But I could probably rant about this game forever, so I'm going to sort of say this is it for me. I'm glad that I've finished it. I'm glad I experienced the story. I am impressed at the characterization of people in this game, and I'm not so convinced about every other decision that was made for this game. Am I going to play the DLC in the future that they say is going to be coming out? Probably not. And on that note, I say thanks for watching. Till next time, have a good one.